Welcome back to my channel. You know, one of the things I'm working on right now is I'm doing a lot of steel work. I'm building these big 16-foot double-sided gates. This is the second side. I've got one side finished up. I'm building the second side. But I'm constantly using grinders, and grinders probably the number one tool when you're welding, besides your welder. You're grinding it, you're chopping it, and you're welding it. I mean, that's your basic tools right there. But the dangerous thing, like you'll see on this Hercules, it's got a square thing. And it's meant to be set right on the ground, just like that. Same with the Makita, although the Makita, it's not a very square, it's a little more wobbly. Actually, this one's a lot nicer. But what I've decided to do, because now that I have a metal fab CNC laser, I can really up my game and do a lot more things. So one of the things I wanted to do is have a storage, basically just hang my grinders, so that when you're done grinding and you let it stop, which is always supposed to let it stop before you set it down, then you would just hook them right in the thing. And I think I want to have like maybe two of them that are probably around 2 feet, that hold three of these small grinders. So I think if I made them, I might even be able to do 4. I'm going to stick with 3 though, 3 in each one, so that they're not too. I could have one here, and then maybe I could have one over my other bench. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it. We're going to go into the software that I use, which is Vectric. We're going to draw our project. Then we're going to export it over to Xtool Metal or Xtool Studio. And then we're going to bring it right in there, and we're going to cut it out of some 2mm steel. And let's see how it turns out. Let's get started.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do. Oh, work it out.
Okay, one thing I realized is making a drawing video is just too long. I spent about a half hour drawing this thing, and basically it took me a little time to get it exactly the way I wanted, but I thought it turned out pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you think. And it wasn't hard to draw. It just took, I don't draw every day, so it took me a little time to, array things and rotate things. And, when you don't do it every single day, you got to it's like riding, all of a sudden you got to get back on the bike, and then you figure out all your tools again. I've been drawing with this software for probably 7 years, but I still, it takes me time to get things done the way I want. But I'll slow it down when I get to the point where I could explain a lot more of it. So right here you can see I'm kind of drawing out the template. Now what I'm designing is something that's going to be bent. And the reason for all those little slots is to weaken the metal so it'll bend. When I go to bend it, it'll bend right in that spot. And I'm kind of doing a little side design. Every once in a while I'll draw a little side view for myself to look at. So right down there on the bottom, you can see I got a 1-inch tab that's going to be bent, and that's going to be a mounting point, and there's some holes in it. And then I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to do the same thing. The only difference is at the top, I'm going to put some holes up there, but I also want to have I want to make it a little more creative, like put some letters in there. So I'm going to put grinder station in there. And that's basically it right there. Now I'm going to stop it right here and go ahead and show you a little better and kind of explain what I'm doing. Okay, it's not quite finished drawing yet. Now you see these circles. I want to put some slots in the bottom of them. Basically, I want the grinder to set down in there nicely, but not be sloppy, kind of be secure in there. So I created these little slots right there in the middle. And now I wanted to put some cord slots where I could stuff the cord from each grinder into the right side of each grinder. So I made these little slots for each cord spot. And actually that worked out pretty good. Surprisingly, this next thing where I put my saw blade up in the square, that was really my only mistake because the cutter just cut it right out. And I should have looked at that better. So if you look at that saw blade and you picture it being cut out, it's just going to be hollow. So I really should have had the deer in there without the saw blade on the outside. And here, right here is the final drawing right here. And I kind of look it over really well, and then I highlight it and I export it, and I decide this is good. Now before we can cut it, we need to export it over to Xtool Studio and then process it. Okay, right here we're gonna come in here, we're gonna grab this grinder holder that we just drew, and here it is. Now, that came in the actual size, so we got to take a look at this. We might have to move it a little bit. So if you look at these edges, so down there is okay, but over here we're hitting our clamps, so we need to move this over a little bit. That's the nice thing about this photo. It kind of gives you a little bit of room to maneuver. So let's take a look there at the top. And that looks like it's all fitting in there really good. So there, you can see it right there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the Metal Fab Lazer. We're already connected because it's Wi-Fi. And we need to tell it the things that we need to do. So we're going to cut this. The metal is going to be 2mm metal. So right there, carbon steel, 2mm, basically 14 gauge. We'll go ahead and apply that. Remove any film. It gives you a lot of good advice. So we need the now we're going to run oxygen. Yep, verify that. Yep, oxygen. We're going to check that PSI in a minute, but right now we know it's calling for a 1mm double layer nozzle. So we need to switch because right now we have, let me see what one we have on here. We have the 1.2 on here, and we need to switch to the 1.0. And I have that one right here ready to go. Yes. So we're going to switch this one real quick. So let's go ahead and we'll confirm that, but I'm going to go ahead and go out and switch it real quick. Okay, so that's been switched. Now, there's a few things we're going to find out here. If we were to look at the settings overview, click on there, it's telling us 8.7. So we could turn our pressure down a little bit. The other thing it's telling us is on the 1mm nozzle, it should tell us to change it to number 3. I don't see where that is right now. Maybe that'll be in the processing. Okay, so right now we're going to calibrate the sensor. And basically what you do is you come over, you hit that, it'll capture the image, and then you're going to go ahead and click this on the center, and it's going to move around, make sure that everything's lined up properly. This actually so far looks real good. Now it could be a total failure. Maybe the bends won't work good. You just don't know until you give it a try. So far everything's looking pretty good though. Actually, that all looks pretty good. You kind of go through, make sure that everything's, now let's go ahead and do a preview. I like these previews because it kind of gives you an idea of what's getting cut out. So there you can see all the stuff that's getting cut out, and then we're going to bend that. And that's pretty much, it's hard to say. I don't know why they have it so dark, but anyway, that looks really good. We'll go ahead and we'll pause this video. I'll set up a GoPro inside the Xtool Metal Fab, and then we'll process this. pretty satisfying having a CNC that'll actually cut steel. I love my Avid CNC, but it's really just for wood. But this little CNC from Xtool really kind of opens up my game to be able to do some other stuff. But right here, I'm cleaning up the whole plate. Basically, just getting. I know that I'm going to weld a square on the side, so I'm basically, while it's flat, I just grind that all off. Then where all the little slots are, where it's going to get bent, those little pieces kind of, some of them stuck in there, so I just poke them out with a little poker and basically get it ready to be bent. Now, like I said, my only mistake was my little squares on the side. Instead of having the deer in there, I basically got the shape of a saw blade in there. But I figured out, actually when I first started bending it, I just put it into the slot and kind of hammered it over. But then I realized that I could basically get some clamps and a piece of 1x1 square tubing and clamp it on there and basically be able to bend it pretty nice with that 1x1 square tubing. So right here you'll see the first big bend, and I just bend it up by hand and kind of pound the edge a little bit, and then I do the same thing on the next bend, and basically that was all there was really to it. And then I kind of made sure, like I kind of looked at it and made sure it was really square before I welded it. And yeah, I guess I had three bends. So there's 3 bends, and there it was right there. Now it was time to kind of set these I kind of straighten it out a little bit, do a little grinding on it, get it ready to weld. And then right there, I'm basically gonna weld these 2 ends on. This was a fun and very simple project. And if you like the video and you're a subscriber, just send me a comment and I'm happy to share this SVG file with you. Matter of fact, I think I have it on the Xtool Metal Fab space. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's free. It was fun to do. You know, I just make these videos for fun anyway. But yeah, this I basically kind of hold it in place and then tack it. And of course, I shouldn't be using my DeWalt plastic clamp because it's not made for that. But right here, I'm basically fully welding one side. Now, you might be wondering, why aren't you just welding that with your laser? Well, I just don't want to take the laser in and out of my CNC, and I've got a nice wire feed welder, and I'm comfortable welding with it. So right now I haven't really tried the laser welding yet, but the laser will weld aluminum, stainless, all kinds of stuff. So at some point I'll be whipping it out to try it. But at this point, I'm just having fun that it can cut out things. And basically, originally, I was going to buy a plasma table. And then I was just doing a ton of research about the plasma table and ended up with this Xtool laser. And they were about the same price. I mean, I wanted to get a pretty nice plasma table, but not a big one, but about a 4x4 one. And I just ended up getting this Xtool laser. So, but I mainly got it for cutting, and that's what I'm using it for right off the bat. But eventually I'll try engraving and stuff like that. And there you can see I've got it all welded, ready to go. Now, if you did a better job welding, you definitely wouldn't do as much grinding as I did. Now, I decided to put it on the end of my bench because, I don't know, I just wanted to have it in a central space, and I liked looking at it. I'll probably take it off and paint it black or something eventually. But yeah, it turned out really well. I was really happy with it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. But yeah, it turned out really nice. And here you can see a little view of it on the side of my bench. Really 3 grinders is all I need. So that's, I don't think I'll make a bigger one, but it turned out really nice. And there you go, a nice little grinder station out of the way. The cords are kind of, you know, I originally designed this for these things just to sit in there and hook on, but the cords are so long. And I kind of wanted to have it over here where I could just get it from the central shop, and basically different grinders. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. You could probably do a lot better job of welding than me. Welding small seams, it can be a little tedious, and it's probably better to be TIG welded, but I just did a quick wire feed weld. Anyway, this is a grinder station. I do have this available in an SVG. If you like it and you're a subscriber, just shoot me a comment with an email or something, and I'll send it in SVG. But yeah, it turned out really well, and I'm actually pretty happy with the way. So the way I did it originally, when I designed these notches to do the bending, I originally was thinking of welding it, but there's no reason to. If you weld your two squares on the end, this thing is rock solid, and yeah, it's perfect. You could put them closer together if you wanted, but I really think this one's perfect. Actually, I'm really happy with it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. I'll see you next time. Later.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break